you talked about in the era of Trump, the root had to be more um, outward in its like pro-black agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what is your? I mean, so Barack Obama inspired me to run for office, right? Like when
Mm-hmm.
I was in 2008, um, I couldn't stop. 2007, I couldn't stop watching TV. I was just like,
Yeah. No, it was amazing.
all day. and,
Yeah, it was amazing.
and so I felt, and I found myself while he was president, like defending things that I wouldn't if it were
Mm-hmm.
like a white president,
Mm-hmm.
like drone strikes or like uh, deportation or
Mm-hmm.
the fact that Wall Street wasn't held more accountable during the Great Recession.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what, what how are you holding that? Like, what would you say that what is your reflections on like the Barack Obama presidency and how what it did for the Black community?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the Barack Obama presidency is complicated because on the one hand, this was one of the singular most inspirational, feel good, historical, once in a lifetime things that has happened in our lifetimes, like Barack Obama winning Iowa was the reason why, I rededicated myself to journalism and started my blog, The Black Snob, which was the blog that led to me eventually getting this job at The Root, which was a popular politics and cultural blog like back around 2007 to about 2011 was when it was operating. And he was the inspiration of that. But I mean, I know so many Black people who have this story where it's like, Barack Obama became president and inspired me to move to Washington, D.C. and go work in policy, or inspired me to be a community organizer, or it inspired me to be a politician and run for office. Like, it was it was just an exciting moment. Like, I don't know, like, have you ever seen Space Odyssey 2001? 2001 A
Oh,
Space
you went
Odyssey?
out. Can you still hear me?
I'm still here. Oh, can you hear me now? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, there I am. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. Yeah, I can hear you
It's
now.
Odyssey. Yeah. Yeah.
I have,
Everyone's Zoom is like compromised because everybody's on Zoom. I'm sure you
yeah,
heard.
exactly at the same time.
So yeah.
But no, are you familiar with 2001: A Space Odyssey, the film by Stanley Kubrick?
I didn't see it, but I did hear about it. But
Okay, so in 2001: Space Odyssey, there's this black obelisk like statue type thingy that comes from space and basically inspires all of humanity to like change its trajectory. Like it's supposed to be the catalyst that causes, man to start to use tools and to build a society is the black obelisk, like object. And so that's what Barack Obama was for Black people. Like, it was like this thing. It was like, oh my God, if he could do it, anything's possible. So like, also on the one hand, Barack and Michelle Obama, and to a certain extent his children, were so inspirational to Black people that it, like, you have to like take that into consideration along with some of the bad that came with his presidency. So it's like, yes, like when it came to like just a successful presidency where, you didn't really have to worry about too much and shit got done. And yes, disappointing and disturbing things still happened, like drone strikes, but at the same time, like when Ferguson happened or when any major incident of police brutality happened, you actually had a president that would talk about it and cared about it and would send Eric Holder, to St. Louis to figure out what's going on. And there was you had a Department of Justice that would actually investigate police departments, and there was consent decrees and like things would happen. Now you could debate how efficient this was at bringing about change, and you can debate what the ultimate outcome was, but the reality was under Barack Obama's presidency, if something bad was happening to Black people, you at least felt like somebody was listening. Like, you didn't necessarily always like what maybe his solution or his outcome was, because Barack Obama is still, he's still a creature of this country, and the presidency is complicated. Like, it's basically so intermeshed with capitalism, with the traditional political structures, with the fact that racism is systemic in our country, that's hard to unwrap for one person to just unravel on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like you have to weigh his presidency in that way and what he was able to do holistically for Black people, like things like the Affordable Care Act, hugely important, game changer. My Brother's Keeper, wonderful program, helped a lot of youth. The fact that he would investigate instances of police brutality, the fact that Black farmers who had been treated with inequity throughout all of American history were actually able to get some justice and some restitution from the federal government under Barack Obama. Like, those things were all good. So it's like, yes, like drone strikes are bad. Yes, Wall Street didn't get penalized as much as they probably should have. But I feel like the good that he did ultimately outweighed that. Mm-hmm. Because when it comes down to just like compared to other past presidents, that's what that's a litmus test I compare him to. I don't compare to what I wish, Barack Obama could have been. I compare him to the other past presidents. Like he was a damn good president compared.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah. I mean, I'm personally a big fan of who he is as a human being. Mm-hmm. And as a person, as a policymaker, I often think about, what can I tangibly hold up to my people to say, like, what we did here got you to a better place. And so, me being a fan, and also it doesn't mean that like, we can't have serious criticism.
Of course.
Or me being like not a fan of the current administration, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that if things happen that my people benefit from, that like I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm glad that happened. Like people got out of jail.
Yeah.